For the past week or two, I've been experiencing a little more stress and anger and fear and even a little low-grade depression than what I'm normally used to. You know, I used to be under the impression that if I took all the right actions, then I wouldn't have to experience any of these kind of unwanted emotions. If I could just meditate right, and eat right, and exercise right, and be a good boy, then life would go great and I wouldn't experience any friction or make any mistakes. And that's a child's perspective, but I seem to have carried it well into my 30s and 40s. My experience has been, though, that if I do maintain some practices like this, some habits, then I have a much better chance at avoiding some of these unwanted emotions and circumstances. But it doesn't necessarily give me a hall pass out of all of life's kind of undesirable lessons. Years ago, I was mourning the loss of my best friend who had passed away from cancer. And maybe 6 months after he had passed, I was talking to a friend and a mentor, and I was telling them that I was doing everything that I could think of to try to process the grief, you know? I was praying and meditating, and I was working with new guys in recovery, and I was pulling every lever that I could think of. He laughed at me at one point and said, "Man, you can't AA your way out of this." That was a really aha moment for me. Sometimes we just have to experience these unpleasant feelings and walk through tough times. And I know that sounds obvious and simple, but at the time when I was in that kind of sadness and I was in that grief, I couldn't see it. And I can only do so much to try to speed this process up or even slow it down. So when I'm stressed or angry or sad or scared or whatever, my hope is that I quit trying to rush through these moments, rush through these feelings because they're uncomfortable. Instead, start to pay really close attention to them. See why they're there, see what they have to tell me, and know that they will totally pass when it's time for them to pass. And in the meantime, it's probably not going to kill me.